Welcome to Salt Plus Honey. I am your host, Ninky Punch, and this is where we hold space for softness, stories, inspiration, and the sting that made us sweet. Before I jump into today's episode, I just want to give a big thank you to David and Debbie. They are the owners of this stunning villa that we're shooting in today. Um, it wouldn't have been possible to create this episode if it wasn't for our collaboration. So I just want to say thank you so much. And if anybody is interested in coming to this villa, find out information in the information box below. All right, without further ado, let me introduce today's special guest. Today's guest is a proud daughter of Paradise St. Andrew, raised by resilient parents and a loving extended family who helped shape the woman she is today. From her early days at Paradise Preschool to time at TAMCC, every step prepared her for something greater. After working in Grenada for 2 years, she followed a deep calling and in 2023 took a bold leap to pursue her dream of becoming an international model. Since then, she's not only been breaking barriers for herself and her family, but making history for Grenada, showing the world what's possible when you believe in yourself. Please welcome a true trailblazer and proud Grenadian, Ashley Fletcher. Thanks so much for coming today. I know that you are a busy woman and, everybody has different timings, so I'm just really appreciative that you made the time to come today. So before we dive in, I just wanted to know, where's your mind at? How are you feeling? How is life treating you?
I must say that with a busy schedule while modeling, that does not stop me from having fun back home. So when I'm home, like in Grenada, my mind is home and not in London or in the UK. It's never in Europe, it's in Grenada. So my main focus is getting my mental health back on track, having fun, spending most time with my loved ones, and just bringing back myself and rejuvenating from all the energy and time lost. Well, I wouldn't say time lost, but time spent away from home. So right now I'm trying to make back up time that was lost when I was out of Grenada. So it's very much normal. I'm living. I'm happy. It's normal. So yeah, it's nothing too crazy.
Okay. You do look happy. Her skin's glowing, guys. So you guys heard yourself. Ashley's doing great. So we're going to hop into the questions now. Before you were scouted, well, are you ready? Because it's a lot of questions. Well, I know you're going to handle it well. All right. So are you guys ready? Before you were scouted, what did you think being a model was all about? And how has that perception changed now that you're an actual model in the industry?
All right, so before getting scouted, let me just let y'all know that my mind was never on becoming a model and getting scouted off Instagram. So my mind was not directed to modeling or even trying to become a model. I was never passionate about being a model or reaching at the international level. At first, when I got scouted, obviously, in Grenada, modeling is not that big down here. So I was like, I haven't done anything pertaining to modeling in Grenada. So why is these people coming after me? So
Coming after you like that, coming to kidnap you.
yeah, they were literally coming after me. So I'm
Right.
like, probably it's a scam because I got scouted on Instagram, and if you know, this industry is very, I would say it's a bit on the risky side when it comes to human trafficking. So honestly, getting scouted off Instagram, I was a bit scared that it was a scam. So we denied the contract because I was only 12 years old when I got scouted.
Oh, wow.
I was only 12 years old.
Yeah, that could be a bit scary.
Yeah, it was scary. And obviously, seeing the scout text in my inbox with this long ass paragraph, mind you, I was like, why is she texting me? Why is she texting me? I'm like, okay, let me read and let me go through. And I informed my parents and my family, of course, and we did all the research concerning my agency, and it was legitimate. So we did not ignore them, but we answered back and we told them that I am at a tender age and I'm still continuing my education because at that time I was getting my education at the St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School. So obviously I had to finish school before anything else. If you're in the Caribbean, you have to finish your school before you start venturing into other stuff.
Yeah.
So I had to finish my tenure at St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School, did that, and I still didn't sign a contract after finishing St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School. I went to the Time CC, and after the Time CC, I started working in Grenada for 2 years, and I'm like, the modeling came back to my memory. I read over the contract, all of that. And I'm like, maybe that's my calling. Maybe that's where God wants me to be. So after thinking, pondering on the modeling industry, I'm like, I will give it a shot. And I was only 19 years at that time, and I'm like, I think I should sign a contract. Came to the conclusion, signed the contract, and here we go. I took my first trip to the UK in March, and that's where I was developed and molded into who I am today to become not one of the best, but
Not yet.
not yet, but
Clock it.
to where I'm at today because I'm very grateful for the opportunity, and it developed me in so much ways that as I started modeling, I wouldn't look back from modeling. It's a really nice industry, though the ups and downs and mishaps sometimes.
But that's with everything in life, though.
Yeah, it's really fun, and yeah, I would advise anyone to go for it.
Go for it. Okay. I love that breakdown. And, you know, being from the Caribbean, where, you know, especially Grenada, there's not, I
Enough
wouldn't say,
exposure.
yes, I
Yeah,
would say exposure. I was going to say opportunities.
yeah.
And I mean, like, yeah, like everybody can see different opportunities, you know, but Grenada is still small, you know,
Yeah.
and it's not on an international scale. I mean, Grenada does have a lot of exposure now, you know, thanks to people like you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess like, you know, things just happen. Sometimes you just, it's all about putting yourself out there as well, I would say, and giving things a chance.
Yeah.
Because if you had never done that, you know,
Yeah.
you would never been in the place that you are now.
So of course, at a tender age, what I thought modeling was basically posing in front of the camera, being in front of the camera all the time, doing photo shoots, doing shows. But there's so much more to just doing a photo shoot, being on the runway. There's so much more to that. Before you even go to the show, there's rehearsals, there's fittings, there's a lot of busy times before the actual work that we show y'all, that y'all see on stage. There's so much work before that happens or that day comes. So I wouldn't say it's an easy task or an easy role because what you see is not what happens behind the camera.
So can you tell us, you know, a bit of stuff that happens behind camera?
So what happens behind camera is rehearsals. Rehearsals is making sure that you get the runway right, and doing it over ensuring that you don't step on anyone, you don't fall out of line, and you keep your
Position?
you keep your position, and you focus on what you have to do, and keep your eyes looking into the camera and not to the crowd.
Right, right. Because you're a mannequin, right?
Yeah,
That's what people say, right?
it's hard to even focus when there's so much people, and you want, of course, you'd want to see who's
Yeah,
in the crowd because
yeah.
there's so much celebrities in the crowd, and you want to see them, but you have to keep focus and that's what you come to do, and you have to get it done the way the designer wants it done. Before the show, there's castings. That's one of my biggest fear when it comes to modeling.
Why?
Castings. In castings, you cannot be too sure until the day you're sitting getting your makeup done, or you're in the line getting ready to go on the runway. You cannot be sure on the show until that time. Because in castings, there is first casting, pre-casting, sorry, second casting, and there is last casting. So in the pre-casting, there's tons of girls, thousands of girls waiting to see the designer. And one of the biggest heartbreak is going out in the casting, doing your work, waiting for hours to see the designer, and still not getting chosen to do the show. So it's really not an easy road. It can play with you mentally. And sometimes you feel like, oh, probably modeling is not for me, that's not my calling. It will mess with you, but you just have to stay focused. If you come to do the show, then you have to be in the casting like you want to do the show, because fearing you would not get you anywhere.
Will not get, definitely. You've already walked for Burberry and Lacoste, which are iconic brands. What was going through your mind the first time you stepped on an international runway?
I would say what was going through my mind is, yes, I've made it. Everybody's back home looking at me, waiting to see me on the runway. I was feeling excited, and I was very much proud to be the only Grenadian walking for Burberry that time. So I was feeling very much proud, honored to be representing for my country and for my family, of course.
Yeah, I was actually watching that video, and like the amount of Grenadian flags I was seeing just popping up in the chat because it was live on YouTube, and I was just like, wow, like look at the girl, look at the
Yeah, it
girl.
was such a great feeling. And I would do it 1,000 times again just to make y'all proud.
And you are making a lot of Grenadians proud,
Yeah.
definitely. So you also shared the campaign with legends like Naomi Campbell and Richard Grant. Did you have a pinch me moment, or were you like, it's cool, it's chill, like, I'm calm?
Okay, so backstage, actually, me and Naomi Campbell, changing room was like a door to door.
Wow.
So we were really close in proximity. Richard Grant, of course, all of us was in same proximity, waiting to go on the runway. We had little interactions, but one that really stood out to me was Jean Campbell, because she actually used my phone to take my photos backstage, and she was the first lady before me, so we were having conversations. And of course, I was sharing my culture and selling my country to them,
Come on
letting
now.
them know
Come
that
on
they
now.
should come to Grenada, of
Yes,
course.
of course. Of
Yeah.
course.
So it was a really good feeling being amongst those celebrities, of course. It's a really great feeling, and I feel honored, of course, once again to be from Grenada representing, and the only the only Grenadian on the stage for
Yeah.
Burberry at that time.
That's a huge deal.
Yeah.
That is a huge deal. Okay, so I know we were just speaking about Grenada, but I mean, you're from Grenada, we're in Grenada right now. We're going to be speaking about Grenada a lot in this interview, so, you know. Um, you represent Grenada on a global stage. We all know that. We've been speaking about that. What does that responsibility feel like for you? And do you even look at it as a responsibility, or do you just focus on the job?
All right, so this is a very sensitive question to me, since I was not appointed by Grenada to represent for them. I don't see it as a responsibility for Grenada, but of course, I hold my country very dear to my heart, and I would do anything to serve my country and to represent. However, I don't see it as a responsibility when it comes to doing it for Grenada, but I'm actually doing it for myself and my family. It was my own
That's your
initiative.
thing.
It's my thing.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
And you guys can hear it in her voice. Like I can hear the passion. Like you love Grenada.
Yeah.
And what I love about Grenada is how Grenadians love Grenada.
Yeah. And
Like,
of
for real.
course, I'm very grateful for my Grenadian people. Don't stop supporting me. Keep me always in your thoughts because it's really not easy out there.
Yes, it's not.
It's not.
It's not. And, you know, being on such a global stage, there's so many
Challenges,
people,
yeah.
challenges, you know, people who've already been in the game already. So it's like you are new to this field. So it's like, you know, even though you've stated you don't represent Grenada, you know, like that's not like your responsibility, but of course your country is a big part of who you are.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, do it for yourself, and of course like Grenadians are going to support you. You know, I do know a lot of people are very inspired by you and motivated by you, you know. So yeah, keep doing you, keep walking,
Of course.
head held high as well. Do you feel like because you're Grenadian, like that gives you like a different kind of presence or a razzle dazzle in rooms when you're modeling? Like,
Of course, because being a black girl is very much hard to deal with because in the modeling industry, you see there's predominantly more Caucasians than the black people like me myself. So I feel very much proud and I would stand for my black people always. I would feel confident. They cannot intimidate me. I am always standing with my head high and shoulders up because I am who I am and I cannot change that. And I represent for my black people always. And being from Grenada again, I said it feels amazing because there's barely Caribbean people getting that opportunity to reach on um, such large shows like doing work for Burberry, Lacoste. What you see, there's a lot of white faces more than black faces in those shows. So being a black person and being in a show for the white designers, it's a really good opportunity and it feels great.
definitely, and it
Yeah.
builds a lot of confidence as well,
Yeah.
because it's like, you know, it it's inclusive as well, and I feel like, yeah, like who wouldn't want to walk on an international runway with,
Exactly.
you know, predominantly white faces? It's like, yes, you see me, you know.
Yeah.
You know, we're learning a bit more about you, Ashley, and you know how you think, and you know some accomplishments that you've accomplished already, and just about how you view Grenada. You know, your love for Grenada is very moving, and I'm sure the audience can definitely feel that pull and that pride. You know, the girl from the soil, that pride. But you're a pretty private person, you know. I follow you on Instagram, and you know I don't really see too much of you, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Privacy is peace. But what's something small and random that makes you feel grounded? Like a snack, it could be a ritual, it could be a movie, anything when you're traveling.
Okay, so what makes me stay grounded and connected to back home, of course, is the soca music. Without soca music,
And it's
I
that.
cannot go forward with my day. That's the first thing I listen to in the morning before getting out of bed, getting ready for the day to start my day. I listen to some soca music as loud as
It
I
gives you so
can.
much energy, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So much energy. Like, who do you listen to? Who's like your favorite?
Well, most of the times I listen to Boise, and my favorite song is Home, Sweet Home, and I listen to Dash, We Proud so much. And also, I listen to a lot of Sabrina Francis music while I'm out there because it gives me that vibe, especially the one, like sweet like honey, look how we blessed.
Yeah.
I love this one so much.
Vocals.
Yes, I love this one so much. So I hold my Grenadian soca artists and the music to my heart very closely.
The time is coming. Spice Mass, is slowly upon us. And I just want to know, who will you be playing with? Are you going to be playing with the band, or are you going to be going to Juve? And if you're going to Juve, are you going to be playing in country or in town?
While I anticipate our carnival so much and I'm waiting on carnival so badly, that decision cannot make until the night before Juve or carnival itself. So as for playing fancy mass and getting into a band, um, obviously I wanted to do that this year, but I don't think my career would permit me to do that because of how things are going now, because I have to fly out in the next 2 weeks, and I'm uncertain about coming back to Grenada um, for its carnival. While I highly anticipate it, I'm very much I can't make the decision as yet. It's
And
very
that's
hard to
okay.
tell
Yeah.
because I'm not sure if I want to lose out on money or lose out on our carnival. While I love Grenada so much, carnival
Money.
is just for a couple of days, but
Yes, yes.
of course I have a future ahead of me, so I have to think outside the box. Yes, I've celebrated carnival many years before,
Many times,
but
yeah.
once there's work to do, then I have to get it done. So since I'm going back to Europe in June, I'm not sure if I'll be able to participate in this year's carnival.
That's
However,
okay.
um, while it's a tough decision to make, I'm really considering coming back to Grenada for just carnival only. Um, I mean, I really don't know.
You really don't
But
know.
as for fancy mass, I don't think I'll be playing any fancy mass,
Okay.
but jab jab, of course,
Of
yes,
course.
of
Come on
course.
now.
But for the fancy mass part, no.
Okay.
But I was highly anticipating whether I should play with Lavish or Vibes Mass. But
Okay.
it doesn't make sense to get registered and
Yeah,
the
not be
money,
able to
yeah,
come.
not
Yeah,
being
yeah,
able to
yeah.
come. So it's
That's okay. Yeah, I played with Vibe Mass when last year. No, I lie. I've never actually played with a band. I just go with bands. I usually just get like a costume. But Vibe Mass is really good. But
yeah.
I've never played with Lavish. But I do know that Lavish is like really big though. Oh yeah. So I know that you mentioned that you weren't interested in becoming a model, and it just happened, and you were just scouted online. But if there was anyone in the fashion industry, past or present, that you secretly admired, um, who are they?
That
And
would,
have you met them yet? Sorry, and have you met them yet?
of course not. I haven't. But one of the models that I look up to the most is Anokia.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
she's
oh
very
yeah, she's
yeah.
like a fairy.
Yeah,
She's beautiful.
that's one of my idol. Well, yeah,
Role
yeah,
model.
role model.
Mm-hmm.
I really look up to her. She's very beautiful,
Very.
and if you know her background as well, then you would be like, whoa, yeah, she deserves it.
Right,
She
right.
deserves it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so she gives me the motivation to even push harder because, of course, who don't want to be like Anokia?
Tell me a bit about her story.
Well, she's from Sudan,
Okay.
and with what's going on in Sudan now, it's really terrible, I must say. And she literally breaking the barriers for South Sudan. And yeah, I'm very motivated by the South Sudanese stories because coming out from nothing to something is
Right.
very big
Yeah.
and very
From humble
great.
beginnings.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from home, yeah.
definitely. And would you say that, a lot of the models, or the models that you have met, would you say that they have also come from humble beginnings?
Yes, I would say that they came from humble beginnings. I heard stories how they were treated in the orphan, and it broke me into pieces because it's really not that easy. And now they're very successful. This one specifically, Achak Dao, that's one of my bestest friends in the industry. We live together. We did like cost show together.
Okay.
And yeah, we're just doing stuff together and we'll make it out, of course, successful.
Definitely.
Though she's older than me, she's 26 years old. I look up to her. She's very successful. She does a lot of work for Gucci. She's a Gucci exclusive. So yeah, I definitely look up to her and I wish her all the best in her future. And she has a very bright future ahead of her. And she's doing so well. And yeah, she always keep me motivated. Don't give up. And yeah,
You need people like that around you.
yeah,
Definitely, especially in this industry. It's
industry.
like you need allies, you know, you need
Yeah.
people that you can, yeah, just like have in your corner. Yeah. What's Ashley like when the makeup is off and she's just relaxing on a normal day?
All right, so if you know me, generally, I don't wear makeup at all. So I love my natural state and my bare face. No extensions, none of that. I prefer to stay in my natural state all the time. So the only time I would wear makeup is for shows or if I have to do a shoot. That's the only time I will wear makeup. Other than that, I'm in my natural habitat, my natural state.
I love it.
Always.
Yeah, and she's cute and she's
Yeah.
cute, definitely. Yeah.
I don't do makeup.
Yeah. To be honest, not in Grenada. Like Grenada is
It's
very
too
hot.
hot.
It's too hot for makeup. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you're very beautiful without it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And I feel like that's also why, you know, a big part of why you got scouted as well, you know,
Yeah, because
besides
I'm
your
very
height.
natural.
Yes. Yes. This is, of course, another Grenadian question. If you can bring one Grenadian thing to you on set, it could be a thing or a person, but if you could bring this thing or person with you every time on set or the runway, what would it be?
My Grenadian flag.
What?
My Grenadian flag.
Yeah.
Yeah, I carry it everywhere with me. At castings, it's always tied on my bag. And there's this one thing again, I would carry my grandmother's picture with me everywhere I go since she passed away. I would carry that with me all the time on my backpack.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I love that. Like, are you guys feeling the proudness? I know all you Grenadians are feeling the proudness.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're repping real hard.
Real hard.
You know, you are a young woman, and you know you've been going to school here. You went to TAMCC here, and I'm sure you do have a lot of younger women looking up to you. So, what would you say to a young girl in Grenada who feels like the fashion industry or the fashion world is too far or too big for her?
What I would say to any young woman that's looking to become an international model or pursue any sort in the fashion industry or the model industry is that don't limit yourself. The sky's the limit, and if I can do it, you can do it. It's pretty much hard, but it's simple. Just stay focused and grounded and connected to people that will motivate you to go for it. So yeah, that's my advice to you. Go for it, never limit yourself, stay focused and grounded, connected to your loved ones, and you'll come out successful, just as I am.
Just as you are, yeah. It is always nice to see a representation of like you know, a black woman, you know, on an international level, on any level that's actually being successful, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I like that. And I mean, I'll take your word for it. I'll take your, you know, your advice. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah, never give up. If you feel like, yeah, I can do it, it's pretty much simple, just stay focused, as I said.
Focused.
If you're
If you really want
if
it.
you really want it,
Yes.
then you got to go for it and stay grounded. If you want to be a model, focus on
Modeling, yeah. Don't let any outside
research.
distractions.
Don't let nothing distract you. Yeah, I can do it.
And
I
that is
can do it.
And
I'll
you can
do it. I'll be successful.
And is that?
It would not happen overnight, but
course.
you have to stay grounded and connected to people that would motivate you to go for it. And if you want it, you can have it.
You can have it. And
Yeah.
stay dedicated to the vision.
Yeah, stay
Literally.
committed. It's not really an easy industry, but once you stay focused, as I said, you would make
You
it
can
out
achieve it.
successful. Yeah.
I've learned a lot about you,
Uh-huh.
um, you know, with this short amount of time that we spent together. But I can definitely tell that you're very driven.
Yeah.
You're very passionate about this industry now that you're in it, you
Yeah.
know? And I love that. I love, feeling like inspired by people
Uh-huh.
around me, and, you are younger than me,
Uh-huh.
but still, you're doing big things,
Yeah.
So you didn't plan to become a model,
Mm-hmm.
but look at you now.
Yeah.
You're on an international runway, walking with big stars. What's the biggest lesson you've learned by taking this leap of faith?
All right. So the biggest lesson that I've learned is that you never know who's looking at your page.
Yes, yes, yes.
You never know
A
who's looking at your
thousand percent.
page. So you always have to maintain such, what would I say? You have to keep your composure at all times
Stay
because
classy.
stay classy. Um, because as I said, you never know who's looking at your page.
Definitely.
You can get your $1 billion job of somebody looking at your page. As I said, I'm not a billionaire just as yet. Just as
Just
yet.
as yet.
I'm not just as yet, but that's where I get my job, and that's where I got scouted, and that's where
The
I got the
possibility was made,
contract,
yeah.
and that's where the decisions was made, and that's what made me fly out of Grenada, get to work the shows, do the jobs, be an international model. So just keep your composure, be very much mindful what you're posting
Definitely.
because you never know who's looking.
Definitely. And Instagram, like social media now is like your online, your digital portfolio,
Exactly.
so it's like, I saw this quote somewhere. Somebody said, well, it's always on Instagram, but it says, Instagram or social media isn't for your friends, it's for your dreams.
Yeah.
And I highly believe that because, I have been in social media for a while now, and this is the lifestyle that I want. I want
Yeah.
to be able to stay in a villa and shoot content like this, meet different people, and just like what you're doing as well. It's like through Instagram or just through posting just some pictures, it can skyrocket. So take social media seriously. If you are somebody that wants to get into social media or that wants to get on a global scale, consistency, and treat social media like your portfolio.
Yeah. It's very
Definitely.
important.
Definitely, definitely. Because you just never know.
Yeah,
You just
just
never
never
know.
know.
Yeah. Well, thank you again, Ashley.
Yeah.
This was a treat, and I know that you guys enjoyed this episode as well. I've learned so much from you, and it's definitely given me inspiration and given me energy to kind of like, yeah, let me push. Like this episode, for instance,
Yeah.
like I really want people to, I really want to edit this video and just get it out there and just let people like see you, because I do know that people have seen you, but honestly, just spitting some, real honest truth right here. I just felt like you're not being spoken about enough in
Yeah.
Grenada. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like people are sleeping on you, and I know that of course you love Grenada, and I know that there are some Grenadians that know about you, but I know that there's much more Grenadians that don't
Don't
know
know
about
about
you.
me.
So I'm using this platform to just show you off, to, let people be aware of this gem, this national treasure that we are having in Grenada right now, because you're growing and you're going to be in this industry for
For
a long
a long time.
time. So it's like people need to be tapping into your journey right now and supporting you, because you're going to do big things. You are doing big things. So
Yeah.
that's why I reached out to you and I wanted to, bring her on
And thank you
Soft
so
Plus Honey.
much.
Yes.
It was a really good experience, and I would say anyone that wants to get a podcast done, it's free of cost.
Yes. Yes. It's free.
Because it's free of cost. Just reach out to me. Very respectable, and we get it done.
Yes, we'll get it done.
We'll
Yeah.
get it done.
She was smooth, smooth like butter, you know, smooth like her skin.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you so much for just making the time to come, you know, sit down with me. Like, I know that a lot of people are proud of you, and I am going to be cheering you on now. So,
Thank you.
yeah.
I appreciate it.
Okay. And that is Salt Plus Honey out. See you in the next episode. Bye.
Bye.